Well, I was doing some research for today's recap and I stumbled upon something that made me laugh pretty hard. Apparently, the Yankees have a new good luck charm, and it's a turtle that was just adopted by Nestor Cortez. And apparently, ever since he's been in the Yankees clubhouse, the Yankees have not lost the game. So they have their very own lucky Ninja Turtle. What's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. Thank you all so much for stopping by. If this is your first time on the channel, do not be afraid to hit that subscribe button because we do this every single day. And also, if you're going to any last minute baseball games, save yourself 20 bucks off using code Fuzzy on SeatGeek. Giancarlo Stanton hit a home run on a ball that still confuses my feeble little non-mortal brain because we all know Giancarlo Stanton is not of Earth. Adolis Garcia, he stole the show against the Angels yesterday, and the Phillies versus the Braves, they're facing off in one of the most important series of the year. Now, like we do in every single recap, we start off with the walk-off victory. So let's talk about the Astros versus the Tampa Bay Rays. Yandy Diaz, or Yandy, I can't remember how to say his first name, hits a two-run bomb. He's quietly having a very good season, a 114 OPS plus to go along with 64 RBIs and 13 home runs. And Michael Wacha, he found the fountain of youth yesterday. He tossed 5 shutout innings with 6 strikeouts and no hits, and he gets taken out after 61 pitches. This is what the Rays are known for. I don't understand this. This is over-managing at its finest because Bregman and Altuve, they immediately tie up the game on a few solo shots, but then Randy Arozarena, he delivers, so the score is 3-2. Okay, now it's 3-3 after a walk, and then the Astros walk it off on a walk. So there you go. That's why you should have not overmanaged and taken out Michael Wacha. Like, what are we doing? But I do want to show you guys, before we move on over to the Mets walk-off, in the 8th inning of yesterday's Astros versus Rays, Wander Franco took a walk. He now has been on base in 42 consecutive games. He's only one away from tying the rookie record set by Frank Robinson with 43 games on base, and honestly, I don't see him stopping anytime soon. Knock on wood. All right, let's move on over to the Mets versus Marlins doubleheader. We have Francisco Lindor driving in the first run of the game, and then Tomas Nido, he makes a throw to Javier Baez, and Javier Baez takes care of the rest. Jonathan Villar, he makes it 3-0 because Jesus Sanchez is unable to corral this baseball. Lewin Diaz, I do want to show this. This kid has so much raw power. Good Lord, to the upper deck. Francisco Lindor, he does get those runs back. He now has 19 home runs and a 100 OPS plus. He is having a decent season, but he has not been the MVP caliber player they thought he was going to be. And then in game number 2, Noah Syndergaard, Thor, was back in business. He was on the bump for the first time in 2 years. He only went 1 inning, but he had a perfect first inning. Jesus Sanchez, he socks a home run, and Pilar singles in VR to even up the score. Trevor Rogers, he is in the thick of things for the Rookie of the Year race as well. He only allows 3 base hits with 6 strikeouts. He lowers his ERA to 2.64 on the season. Javier Baez shows off the leather as James McCann, he wins it after a bobble from Anthony Bass, and the Marlins, they lose back-to-back games. Now that the walk-offs are out the way, let's go ahead and talk about the American League wildcard race. We have the Orioles facing off against the Red Sox, and Chris Sale has never lost in his career ever since he was traded to the Boston Red Sox against Baltimore. So let's recap this game. Kyle Schwarber lifts off for his 7th home run with the Boston Red Sox. He has a whopping 154 OPS plus for them. He has been sensational. Hunter Renfroe is just one single home run away from 30 on the year, and Kelvin Gutierrez, he uses his speed to get on base for Ryan Mountcastle, and Mountcastle, he does his thing, 32 home runs, he ties up the ball game. Chris Sale was not happy, he was irate, and then he was taken out. Pedro Severino, he grabs an RBI because Devers is unable to pick it over at the hot corner. McKenna, he drives in another and then ends the game on a leaping catch over in left field. The Red Sox have now lost 4 games in a row, so they're going to have to need the Yankees to lose yesterday, but at the intro of today's video, we talked about that Giancarlo Stanton home run, so we'll see if the Blue Jays were able to make the comeback. The Mariners faced off against the A's. Tyler Anderson, he bounces back after allowing 9 earned runs in his last start. He only allows 1 in 4 innings. Jake Fraley rewards him with a 2-run double in the bottom of the 4th, and you have Harrison unable to complete the play, so the score is 3-1. Tony Kemp, this guy has been so clutch in 2021. He shows up in the biggest moments, so he brings it to a 3-2 ball game, but Mitch Haniger on his 100th career home run, honestly, he is going to get a ton of consideration for comeback player of the year, him and Trey Mancini. And Steckenrider, he gets his 12th save, and I just want to shout him out because he has a 2.05 ERA in the second half. He's kind of stolen the closing role away from Paul Sewald and Diego Castillo, and Abraham Toro has been pretty good. So, I mean, honestly, trading away Kendall Graven has not been the biggest loss in the world, although he was really good for them. And then let's talk about that Yankees game, shall we? We have the Blue Jays getting the first run of the game on an RBI single from Bo Bichette, and then Aaron Judge, who was recently dealing with a slight finger injury, he shows that he is A-OK on his 37th home run of the year. Jamison Taillon is not A-OK, however. He leaves after 2 innings with an ankle injury. The Yankees score 2 in the 5th, and Giancarlo Stanton, again, my feeble little human brain, I don't know how this Martian was able to hit this pitch out, an 84 changeup down at his shoelaces. He has 4 home runs and 13 RBIs over his last 4 games, and on the season, he has a 140 OPS plus with 35 home runs and 96 RBIs. Severino delivers another strong appearance, and Urshela, he bops one as the Yankees have won 7 games in a row. So the wild card is looking like the Yankees in first place. They're ahead of the Boston Red Sox by 2 games. The Mariners are now just a half game back of second place, and the Jays are 1 game back, and the A's, they're 3.5 games back. All right, let's talk about the NL wildcard race, shall we? Because if the Cardinals beat the Brewers, it is over. They will have wrapped up second place in the NL. Luis Urias, he will not stop hitting home runs. He now has 22 on the season. He is showing up for all of his 5'9" Kings. You guys know I'm 5'9", so is Luis Urias. We appreciate it. Carlson hits a solo shot, and Waino, he ties it on a suicide squeeze. Tyler O'Neill, he has an RBI single, and Waino was able to deliver 6 pretty decent innings with 4 strikeouts. You have Jose Rondon with a pinch hit home run, and Arenado with his 34th on the season. The Cardinals, they clinch it. They have won 17 games in a row, tied for the second most in National League history as they beat the Brewers 6-2. The White Sox faced off against the Reds, and unfortunately, because the Cardinals won, the Red season is officially over. Luis Robert, my goodness, he goes yard, and Moncada, he smacks one as well, and in my opinion, has the best swing in all of Major League Baseball. If you disagree, let me know in the comment section down below. Gavin Sheets, he bashes his 10th home run in 50 games, and this was all for Ronaldo Lopez, who is having himself a resurgent season. 2 hits in 6 innings, only 1 earned run, and Luis Robert, look at this guy. He demolished this baseball 450 feet for Louis Bobby. He has a 350 batting average with 12 home runs and 41 RBIs in 64 games. Are the White Sox a World Series favorite? Let me know down in the comments. Now, the wild card, of course, is wrapped up, so we have to talk about the NL East and the NL West races. The Braves faced off against the Phillies. Charlie Morton and Zach Wheeler, they got through 2 without a single run, but Jorge Soler, he ropes a 2-run single in the middle of the game, and Wheeler, he's able to settle down to toss 7 innings, but Charlie Morton was so much better. 7 shutout innings with 10 strikeouts, only allowed 3 base hits. Now, the game was 2-0 going into the 9th when Heredia makes a fantastic catch, only to have Eddie Rosario do the exact opposite over on left field. Didi drives one to right field for a sac fly to bring the game to within 1, and Freddie Galvis came in with the tying run on third base, and he strikes out on a 93 fastball directly down the middle of the plate. So the Phillies have to win every single game going forward because they're 3.5 games back with 5 games left. So if they lose one more game, the season is over. The Giants faced off against the Diamondbacks. The score was knotted up at 1 apiece going into the 6th after Yastrzemski, he drove in a run on a bases-loaded walk, and Josh Rojas had a sac fly. Logan Webb has been the ace of the Giants for the last 3 or 4 months. Another start in which he does not allow a single earned run. He lowers his season ERA to 2.93, and the Giants erupt in the 6th inning after Flores, Posey, and Crawford. They all go station to station. You have Posey and Longoria scoring on a wild pitch as Camillo, I don't know how to say his first name, Doval, earns his first career save. This guy has some nasty stuff. And then let's talk about the Dodgers. They faced off against the Padres. Trey Turner, he drives a ball to score Mookie Betts on a double, and Manny Machado, he saves a run. The Padres aren't really playing for anything, but I respect this play. You have Pollock, he knew that the Padres were eventually going to score, so he adds 1 more to make it a 2-0 ball game. Buehler goes 7 shutout innings with 5 strikeouts. He's now 15-4 with a 2.49 ERA. Just his whip and strikeouts are not as good as the other guys, Corbin Burns and Max Scherzer. Blake Treinen does allow a long ball to Jake Cronenworth, but he gets his 7th save on the year. So the Dodgers are 2 games back of the Giants, and also the Braves, again, are 3.5 games ahead of the Phillies. All right, let's go ahead and get into the fast cap from yesterday's games, the games that don't really matter, but they were still fun. The Rangers faced off against the Angels, and Max Stassi, he starts off the game with the 2-run missile, but Adolis Garcia, I mean, my jaw dropped when I saw this play. So he sparks a momentum shift as Jonah Heim, he has an RBI double right before Andy Ibanez brings home 2 for the lead, and Adolis Garcia, he has an RBI ground out, and then another special play in the outfield. He ties Hunter Renfroe with 16 outfield assists and then drives in his 88th RBI. So his counting stats are really good: 30 home runs, 14 stolen bases, 16 outfield assists, but he has a 287 on base percentage, so he has to learn how to not strike out so much. Look at Akil Baddoo showing off the range in center field for the Tigers. Mitch Garver, he has a sac fly that brings home the game's first run, and that was all Minnesota got from Tyler Alexander, who had 6 strikeouts, only 1 walk. But as soon as Tyler was taken out the game, Sano blast off for home run number 30, and Kepler has a massive sac fly because Baddoo, he drives in a run on a single, and the same goes for Jonathan Scope. So it's a 1-run game, but the comeback falls short as Minnesota wins 3-2. The Royals faced off against Cleveland. Benny Biceps, he's having a fantastic second half, has a 2-run shot, and then Silos, he has a sac fly to tie it up after Cleveland scored 3 in the first. And Salvi, he now leads Major League Baseball in home runs and RBIs. Maybe he's gonna win MVP if he gets the Triple Crown. So even though Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was close, it doesn't mean that he's MVP over Shohei Ohtani. Because he is leading in 3 arbitrary stats, Shohei is the MVP. Nicky Lopez has an RBI and then scores on a wild pitch. And I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below, do we think that Bobby Witt is enough to change the Royals' future? Because right now, I'm not seeing enough from them to beat the Tigers or the Cleveland baseball team or even the Twins in 2022. So let me know down there. The Rockies faced off against the Nationals. We have 2 lefties, Kyle Freeland and Patrick Corbin, facing off against each other. Ryan McMahon gives Kyle an early lead, and Trevor Story there at Coors Field to hit this ball 475 feet. He is technically having a down season, and in a down season, Trevor Story has 24 home runs, 19 stolen bases, and a 4.2 WAR. That is insane. Brendan Rodgers, keep this up, kid. A 284 batting average with 15 home runs in 98 games. Good for him. And then last but not least, the Pirates versus the Cubs. This was a slugfest. Colin Moran has a 3-run tater in the first, and the Cubs used the next 5 innings to take a 6-3 lead. Gamble has a sac fly to make it a 2-run deficit, and Hoy Park has a 2-run triple. This kid can run a little bit. Michael Chavis, he completes the comeback on a single to right field, and Moran, he brings home the 8th run, which was meaningless because the Cubs could not score after the 5th, as the Pittsburgh Pirates escape with an 8-6 victory. That does it for today's recap. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe out there. I appreciate all of your support over the last 4 or 5 months. We've only missed 1 recap over the last 3 years. So I do it for you guys. I really appreciate all of you. And to end today's video, enjoy this day in MLB history.
And a bases loaded threat. There it goes. Long drive and a grand slam. Upper deck for Mattingly. His 6th of the year.
High fly, left center field. It's hit pretty well. Phillips is going back, looking up. That ball is gone. Jason Castro with a home run. His 13th and the team's 307th. We're still hitting home runs, but hitting them today